and I'm freaked the fuck out right now.
This hasn't been around long enough.
Well, none of this matters. The system is on fire. Print money out of nothing.
I hope you can afford your life.
So Bitcoin used to be like this rocket ship to freedom, but now it's just a flaming SpaceX prototype just hurtling back to Earth. But the countdown isn't flashing red, it's screaming abort, and the blast zone is about to hit the entire economy. But maybe it's not that bad, actually. I would argue the crypto crash, not that bad right now.
Abort! Abort! Exactly. The price charts still look like they're posing for prom photos, but underneath, the belief, the liquidity, the risk appetite, it's all cracking like cheap drywall in a rental after a frat party. And the frat bros probably have the crypto too.
Yeah, they do. And they're peeing in the corner of
of course.
The frat house. But today we're not talking about just a little dip. I mean, this is a major change here. We're talking about Bitcoin's mask slipping a little bit because there's some of the wildest accusations in crypto history coming out now, today. And this crash, it's not just a price move right now. This is a giant neon sign that the whole risk asset Jenga tower might have been built on wishful thinking and leverage fumes.
Might have been? I mean, we're going to get into it. Buckle up. The hopium dealers have left the building. This isn't bullish posturing anymore. It's panic mode, exit row seating, no refunds, bros.
But I love to smoke that hopium, man. It is so good. But if you like unfiltered truth comedy with, shrapnel, zero BS economics that ruin your group chats, hit like and subscribe. 3 shows a week, same circus, new fire. And the fire that's been going on and burning since about October 10th is the Bitcoin and crypto fire. Bitcoin has fallen now almost 20 to 30-ish% just over the past several days. So what does that say about the markets built on hype, leverage, and belief that this time it's different? Because this time might be different, Paul. It might be different. It might not be a full-blown crash.
Somebody call 911. Shorty's hype is now burning on the dance floor because it's all hype. And an economy on hype will never last. Dude, I know you're into this. I love that this is happening. This is supposed to happen. When you have an entire economy of bros built on ether and fake nothing behind nothingness in the cloud and the internet and the whatever, of course this is going to happen. There's no gold behind this. What happened to gold? The value of $1. I think Bitcoin is bound to burn into ashes. And of course, the structural crash that's happening now, I'm not surprised.
Nobody is surprised by this, and we know that this happens because this is how the Bitcoin cycle works. We know that it booms and busts and crashes every 4 years. Here's the thing that, if you don't follow crypto on a day-to-day basis, like most normal people, you should not follow it on a day-to-day basis. Paul, you're making the right choice. But if you do, and you're a psycho like me, you do follow it, and you understand that we've been preparing for these crashes for a long time. The problem is we didn't get out early enough because we did think that it was different this time and that it may extend a little bit into the next year. And now a lot of people got caught with their pants down because the cycle tells you that it would have started crashing back on October 6th. And we got that. But a lot of people stayed in with this false hopium that we love. And now we don't know what is real right now.
Well, it's a market. It's a market based on hope, right? It's a market based on hype. I just think it's so hard to trace this stuff to me. It's like, how do you even keep track? Of course it's going to dip, it's inevitable. It's digital gold, but you trade it like high beta tech. The moment the faith cracks, you found out it was never safe. Duh.
Right. So there's a lot of reasons for the crash going on right now. There's a lot of technical reasons going on. You've got large Bitcoin holders, we're talking some of the earliest investors, guys who've been holding it for 12, 13 years, who have made billions on it. They're starting to take profit because they're like, hey, this thing hit $100,000. It's time to take some profit here. They've been holding for a long time. Also, you've got ETF outflows. BlackRock, which is like the leader in ETFs for regular people like you and I to go buy Bitcoin if you don't want to deal with all of the weird cold storage and all of that. You go buy it through Charles Schwab or whatever. They're seeing a lot of outflows because retail investors are scared right now. This is their first rodeo. Your grandfather and your uncle, my father-in-law, who is heavily invested in these ETFs, this is their first rodeo in crypto, and it gets scary because it does take 30% drops in the middle of a bull run. And that's the thing that
Wow.
we're all trying to figure out, if it's going to continue or not. But
Well,
yeah, there's a lot of reasons why.
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't one of the best strategies for crypto to hold out? Isn't that part of how people have done so well, is holding out for so long? I don't know enough, but I do understand that, like, isn't that kind of how it's gone for many years? Like, you're guy in this. How long
Yeah.
how long do you hold out on it before you get rid of it, you dump it?
So, I mean, there's a lot of different variables here, but if the statistics have shown that if you hold Bitcoin specifically for at least 5 years, most people are up 100 to 300% on that just by holding for 5 years. The thing that screws things up is Bitcoin moves in this 4-year cycle. There's a lot of theories on what moves the cycle, but it looks like a lot of it has to do with just the inflation rates. And this is how everything ties back in together when we talk about inflation rates. So it has this natural boom bust cycle, and the headlines only ever come out to regular people when it's hitting a high or it's crashing. Right now it's crashing, but you're not zooming out and seeing the clear trajectory that it's been on, going in an upward movement. Now, this has been a bad year for crypto compared to stocks. It's only up, I think, like 6%, while the rest of the stock market's up like 15%. But holding is the way to go. You get scared, you get shaken out, you make dumb decisions, and you buy high and you sell low, and it's the worst combo.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think these aren't coincidences now, though? Like, these are bullet holes in the tower's walls. When the ETF flows reverse, you know the crowd is pulling back. So it's all kind of happening as you can imagine. Like, what do you do in this situation? Like, where's the confidence? Is there a foundation here? If Bitcoin's supposed to be a hedge or a safe asset, how bad is it when it falls, just like every other risk asset?
Right. Now, the thing that has traditionally been bad with Bitcoin is that during a bear market, it can crash 70, 80%, and most people aren't prepared for it. And most people online are telling you to hold on to it. It's going to get better. It's going to rebound. And this is the razor's edge that we're dancing on right now. And I think it gets really scary to figure out if you should be holding on to this. And the foundation is there. This is the narrative that I want to correct, because there's so much fear. Look at what the institutions are doing. The rest of them are buying this during this dip. These big hedge funds, they're gobbling it up under 100K. What is BlackRock doing? What is JP Morgan doing? These guys are building the railways for crypto to merge with regular stocks. This is being incorporated more and more. But I think that this here narrative being pushed is to scare regular people like you and I. And I'm freaked the fuck out right now, to be honest. They got me, even though I know how the game works.
It's just so volatile, man. It's also not real. It's an economy based on, I mean, I know it's real, and people will probably criticize me saying this, but like, Bitcoin was never gold, right? There's no real foundation here to me. It's a belief contract. And you're finding out now how fragile that belief is. When you're putting your money, your life savings, trying to make money back on something that's so fragile, I think it's just a dumb investment. I don't like it. I'm old school. I want to bury cash in my backyard and lose money on the cash.
At least you're acknowledging that. At least you're acknowledging you're going to lose it by that.
At least my cold hard cash will depreciate in my own backyard versus some weird internet-y shit happening with crypto.
On the internet?
That all of a sudden I'm up 300%, and then all of a sudden I'm down to 50%. It's like it's too much of a roller coaster. And I think what's happening now is because of look at the time we've been in crypto, right? We're looking at fatigue. I think this is crypto fatigue is something I'm calling it. This is not some new shiny thing, right? This has been, how many years has this been going on where now people are like, I am getting a little scared. I'm not going to hold out anymore, you know? And we're seeing people who have been so involved in this, like you, hit breaking points, and it's changing it. It's not, you said there's a 4-year cycle with this. I think you're looking at data that's too young to make decisions, personally. I think it's actually too volatile to say, this isn't the stock market, dude. This isn't like some true and tried system. This is the wild, wild west of the economy online. And we don't know what the hell's going to happen. It's like talking about the health of cell phones right now. Like, this might cause cancer in my brain, and we don't know yet. We haven't had them long enough. This hasn't been around long enough, and I don't like it, and I want gold to come back, okay? All right, I'm off my soapbox. Okay. I'm done.
You're Paul, sometimes you can be a Luddite in being that you don't want to embrace some of this technology, and I understand it. Like, Of course, we all want things to be the way they used to be because that's what's familiar. That's what we know. The rest of this is a fucking risk. We don't know what's going to happen with it. But right now, it does seem as if every major financial person and institution is moving into this space for a reason, and not all of the reasons present themselves clearly right now. And I think that we're going to look back on this conversation and these narratives 10 years from now and be like, I can't believe I didn't see this coming, where it literally controls every part of your life.
Fine.
Now,
Fine. I can see that being true, sure. But the thing here now, what's happening is like the crack is clearly visible, right? So why don't we pull the lens back? Like what squeezed, you tell me, what squeezed the structure so hard that it cracked? Like what's different now?
Well, I mean, right now, what's going on is so much uncertainty in the world, in the economy, in politics.
Yeah.
So, and also, you look at a lot of these major players in crypto, these exchanges like Binance, they're doing super shady shit out there. World Liberty Financial, which is, you can look who's there involved in that. There's a bunch of weird stuff going on. All these weird governments getting involved. There's weird, shady stuff going on. Yes, but also this hype building over the past year as Bitcoin climbed all the way up to $126,000. All of the retail investors, all of us regular guys, like tried to squeeze a little bit more out. And there's some new people who just got into crypto who started buying it at the top at 125,000, and they've only seen it go down. The rest of us who've been holding for years, we were buying it at $15,000. Now it's like, okay, we're getting scared, we should pull out, but we've already made profit. But the problem here now is the people who are getting increasingly desperate because they bought at the top. And this is how they get you every time. And the leverage, people just taking more risk. They're betting, they're gambling on these things. And it's also, I think when you look at it, there's just more money involved. You've seen the entire market cap grow because you can buy it through your exchange now. You can buy it through like trading traditional stocks. And it's the whole thing is, I mean, we all wanted the institutions to get involved, but now it's a bigger Ponzi scheme. I will agree with you. There is a definite Ponzi scheme going on here.
Right.
But there is also some advancements in technology.
Well, like if you look at institutions, right? Like they're going to find a way. Like you said, you have to adapt or die. It's similar with AI. It's like the institutions are getting involved and they're going to line their pockets through crypto. And who's actually behind crypto, we don't even know. And maybe if you found, there's a lot of conspiracies out there about this stuff that maybe behind the curtain of crypto is something like you were saying earlier, right? That we could surprise us. And obviously, institutions, if anything, are just corrupting it more. This is not some crowdsourced finance. This has now become muddled, I think, right? And headlines kept talking about risk on and crypto breakout, right? But if your leverage position is getting liquidated, you don't really care about breakout. You care about surviving. Like you're a normal guy. You want to survive this.
That's why you don't mess around with leverage. People are using like 10x, 50x leverage. You can't. Sometimes, not financial advice, but a little bit, 2, 3x, whatever. You be smart, you learn how to use it, but mostly trading in spot. So you don't get into a survive or die situation here.
But riddle me this, Arthur. Riddle me this. Does it not feel like survival everywhere? I mean, is this that really? I'm trying to protect the institution, the stock market in America. Yeah. It's kind of feels the same, right? On the other, like, what is tried and true in a good investment now anyway? What actually will? And maybe I'm just naive, but nothing feels certain.
Right. And this is where I think the problem really enters, because what are we talking about here? The stock market is basically just a few percentages off of all-time highs. Businesses are reporting some record earnings. Yeah, they're having a lot of layoffs. We're seeing some of the structural stuff. We're seeing money's about to get cheaper. The Fed is about to print money. They may not cut rates in December, but when they do, because they have no choice to, money gets cheaper. Free money flows into the system. These things all point in the direction of there actually being some catalysts that could push this higher here. So it just gets a little bit scary when you just see all these headlines, but really behind the scenes, the big guys think things are okay.
Yeah.
At least that's the narrative they keep pushing to us. Maybe that's a lie that they're trying to distract us with. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, because then we can make money off it.
I mean, I'm seeing here there's an institutional halt. Data show that institutional buying recently dropped below newly mined Bitcoin for the first time in months. So I guess it's like the way you could look at any ways to spin this. I'm just curious about, how if this is the end of easy money, if this is changing in a different way than it has before, because we can see it more than ever now, and that's what I'm curious about. It's like I don't think it's around long enough for there to be any real true prediction here, And
Right.
if Bitcoin was built for a world of cheap money and high speculation, what happens when the world ends?
Well, none of this matters, Paul. We'll all be dead, so it won't matter. But that's the thing is I think that the big things in the world that really shape how money flows are shifting. And also we also have to kind of diverge a little bit. The world isn't just America. Other countries are heavily investing in this.
Fair.
Economies are, their financial situations are different, and it's all tied globally, yes. But Japan is printing money like crazy. China printing money like crazy. These are areas that buy up cryptocurrencies as well. Their money is going to be flooding into the system because the system is on fire and needs money. And when that free money comes into the system, they go gamble with it on things like crypto. And that's why I just push back on this narrative that crypto is about to collapse. It very well could. The 4-year cycle could fully be intact.
Right.
But also, there are things that point to maybe we're going to throw some gas on this fire here. Now we're cooking,
I know, I guess. I mean, I think the prices are falling. I think the belief is falling. I think the mirage is changing. I think that
Yes.
and that's I think where the danger is here. It's like that it's not a true and trust. I keep saying this though, but I just don't like the foundation of crypto. I don't think it's a sustainable thing, and I think that inevitably, without the real foundation like we need here, it is going to crash and burn. It is going to go all the way, I think. And I'm not trying to be against the crypto bros. I just think that this could be the beginning of a serious fallout here.
Yeah. Well, I actually agree with you, and I do think that something is very wrong here. And I
why?
think that
Well,
why?
no, because it's belief. At the end of the day, we want to believe in something that's going to do well for us, right? If this continues to not having the trust from people and you stop believing, you're going to stop playing the game, And then when the large part of the market stops playing the game, that ripple is going to hit real world finance. We're all going to feel it. So,
dude, it is.
Belief
Yes.
makes things real. There's a song.
Yeah.
Makes things feel. I don't know what I'm singing, but it's not a crypto song.
I hear you, and I agree with you. And I will say that even from some of the staunchest supporters, I think that we all, as crypto, and I say we, but like people who have, followed crypto and been involved in crypto and have promoted crypto, I think that we overlooked something extremely important. And it goes back to the insider stuff that we're always trying to point out and talk about here. And I think it's been kind of just pushed aside. Bitcoin, the foundations of Bitcoin, we don't know where it came from. We don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. There's a lot of theories out there on who it could be, but we don't know. It's a pseudonym, but we don't know if it's one person, a group of people. We don't know. There's a lot of theories out there. There's a number of people connected to the CIA who were working on similar projects, which makes a lot of sense. There are people who will tell you that the Russian government is behind it, that Vladimir Putin is behind it. There's even now evidence coming out in Congress because of, that Jeffrey guy who keeps lingering out there for some reason because of his weird ties to almost everything going on. In the congressional releases that came out, they're showing these emails about how he was an early funder into MIT's Bitcoin lab, where these were core developers who were working on the early foundations of Bitcoin.
Yeah, dude! You're talking about Epstein, right? That Jeffrey?
Yes.
The problem is, I think this was debunked because he wanted to call it Bubba Coin. And please tell me you kept up with that story. The biggest story on the internet.
I am fascinated by it. I want to know. Yeah. I want to know how did
it was. I mean, Jeffrey, if you guys aren't following the story with Bill Clinton and Trump, and there was an email from Jeffrey Epstein, whose brother claimed he was talking about fellatio. Bill Clinton's favorite act in the White House. Mm-hmm. Trump to Bill Clinton. Let's just get this out of the way, though. The brother then came out in the news just this week and said it was a joke between brothers. Regardless, the internet ran wild. And if I could just bring this up just to force some memes into this episode about this. This is about, look at that. This is about what's happening to crypto right now. It's going down. Okay.
Yeah, dude. And now, like,
literally.
Yeah. I mean, it's the connectedness of all of it. When these things start being uncovered, it starts to be like, whoa, kind of makes a lot of sense here. I'm not talking about, Trump doing the thing to Bill, but these connections here and why some of these files have been suppressed for so long. Because I think that also you have to understand that this Jeffrey guy, very connected to the financial elites, who is connected to crypto the most of the financial elites, and they have been for a long time.
It's also kind of creepy. If you look here, the email that we're talking about with him was titled Digital Currency Initiative. That's what they called it. That's what he called it, I guess. It's kind of creepy, though, the more you look into all this stuff, like how tethered he is to everything in culture and society. And there is some secret world government, I'm sure, that is responsible for crypto and a lot of other things in our culture that we don't even know. Who knows where they are? But it does make you think, and it ties me back to the belief and the trust in this, though, right? It's like, I already don't trust institutions enough, right? So this is a kind of unregulated institution that we don't know where it came from. There's a lot of secrecy behind it. How is this stable? How is this a stable thing for our money? You know what I mean? Like, how do you trust putting your money? And that's another thing. You're putting your actual income, that's money you earned, right?
Yeah.
That is something physical, into the ether of this world, who's maybe backed by people that shouldn't be trusting with our money. Like that's
but dude, same with regular money. Should we trust these people with our money? They're involved in all of the same stuff too. And you're looking at the connections between those financial elites as well. And what is the dollar backed by? The dollar is backed by less than crypto, by the way. At least the crypto is backed by math. It's backed by the open source of it. You can check on the blockchain at any time. You can't delete anything from the blockchain. It is there permanently, undeniable. What is your dollar backed by? Hope?
Gold?
Prayers?
Gold?
No. Nixon took it off the gold standard back in 1973. It's
So?
not backed by gold. And
So?
So that's why we have a fucking Ponzi scheme for an economy, because it's backed by nothing. You can print money out of nothing.
Yeah.
And you have to keep the whole system supported. And this is where crypto ties in. And I know I'm just going on and on, but passionate about that. I love it. And I think it's very fascinating as we watch this transition in our culture here. Because let's just say some government entity is behind Bitcoin and crypto. What would be their motivation for it? I think it's very layered, but a lot of it has to do with what you're seeing here with stable coins and CBDCs, which is just a way to usher in an era where you give Bitcoin to people for 10 years, let them play around with it, figure it out, start to get on the hype train, start to believe that this is the future. And then all of a sudden, it introduces stablecoins, CBDCs, where your money becomes digitized and it can be turned off by the government. That's all I'm saying, where it looks like this is going here.
Well, that's sort of my point about how unregulated it is. It's almost like it's a little too trusting. I think you guys who have actually been heavily involved, it's a little too trusting for my taste. And maybe I just don't trust people enough. Also, like...
No, I think you're smart in that regard. Yeah, I do.
It's also like, it's shifting into everything now, right? As you're talking about, which is maybe by design. Like, it used to be an isolated risk asset fund. Now it's part of the main risk ecosystem, right? When it slams, the echo hits everywhere. We feel it. So this is beyond, I think, what it once was. And to your point, maybe that is by design. Maybe this is, that pre-programming we talk about sometimes with AI and robots. And like, this is pre-programming the world to get on digital currency because it's going to be no choice eventually.
Right. I think this was a Trojan horse for that. And we supported it as people like myself who were involved in crypto and, interested in it, and early investors and some. And you have to hope that the bad or the good outweighs the bad ways that it can be used here. Yeah. And I think that it's interesting that we used to talk about Bitcoin and cryptos being used for negative things like, on Silk Road and buying drugs, or for sex trafficking, even all of these different things. And now we look at it as, it may be bad because the governments and institutions got too involved in it, and they're going to use it to keep us subservient to a shifting monetary system here.
Yeah.
It's
Like we've
just
been talking, though,
interesting
man.
how it changed.
It is changing. I also think it's just interesting how in real time, just November 14th is this crypto crash we're talking about accelerated, right? Bitcoin and altcoins hit fresh lows. Broader markets were nervous. I know you're holding the door like Holdor in Game of Thrones. I know you're a classic crypto guy. You're holding on. I just wouldn't be so convinced if this is different than other times it's gone down. And I think it's because, I don't know, we're seeing more, man. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the battle here, and this is where, and I haven't held on to everything here. It's mostly just the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, but the rest I have gotten out of a long time ago because you could see the warning signs coming. But does this bounce? This is the $1 trillion question here that the entire global economy is going to be fascinated on over the next coming months. Is this a bounce? Does it rally? It, as of today, just got under 90,000. Does it bounce from here?
You also got to look at the institutions, man. Like the institutional flow has reversed here, and that's something worth noting too, because they're going the other way, and they're like, well, maybe this isn't gonna. Maybe we don't hold up,
But here's the thing: the other thing, people always misconstrued the institutions buying, like BlackRock, and they say, oh, they're dumping. BlackRock's not dumping. The people who bought Bitcoin through BlackRock is dumping. So it just, the institutions still behind the scenes are gobbling this stuff up, just maybe not at as fast a rate, but the rest of us are scared.
I don't know. The market's rising. The base is shaky. Nah, it's going to fall. Fragility and high contrast, man. It's like,
yeah. And now you've got good old Jeffrey potentially involved too in the more that's going to come out around this. But I do think that it is very interesting that these stories are coming out now. A big part of me does believe that they want you to sell now. They want you to get scared. They want you to get out because they want to buy this up a little bit more cheaply so they can hoard it and take it away from you.
Well, look, we've talked about things being by design. I think the pressure matters, right? When leverage yields, flows, and sentiment all flip, it's not just a dip. It could be a test. It could be, exactly. It's like maybe.
Yeah.
This is all.
No, this is the absolute test here. And I mean, all of this, the mood matters here. Sentiment matters. Belief falling isn't just a line on the chart. This is our behavior changing. It's our fear, our greed, our risk tolerance. All of those things just resetting here.
Yeah, and I want to remember and make sure you guys know, a high Bitcoin price or a roaring narrative doesn't equal structural strength.
No, that's the time to get out, bro. That's when I get out. When everybody's all too excited, you got to get out a little bit.
Yeah, policy is not a guarantee also. Like you can have a friendly regulation or narrative momentum, but it doesn't replace actual demand and institutional conviction. So belief collapsing, someone sees losses, someone else locks in profits, and someone else gets left holding the bag. Is that you, Arthur, holding the bag?
Probably. Yeah. Oh, dude, I held so many bags from last year. I'm still trying to offload some of these bags. Not last year, last cycle, 5 years ago.
I'm holding my bags of cash. I got bags of cash backed by gold because I'm stuck in time.
And what were you talking about the other day with the cab and how that's doubled in price? That's your money being devalued. At least my Bitcoin has gone up 300% in the past 2 years.
Sure. For now, enjoy that while it lasts.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, hold on to that. Sell, take profits along the way.
Right. What are you guys doing? Are you pulling out of crypto, cut risk? Or are you just silently de-risk because the story didn't feel right? Like, what's going on? Tell us. You can actually email us, takes@angry.capital. Also, we need to talk to you more below. So comment. Let us know what you thought of today. Let us know what you think of crypto. Are you like me? You're not buying this anymore. Are you like Arthur? You're holding on for dear life.
When did you buy this, Paul? When? You never bought into this.
No. And I think a lot of people out there are like that.
Of course. And they're very smart. I would not recommend this life for anybody. It is very stressful.
I mean, look, could I have a yacht from Bitcoin right now? Maybe I made the wrong choice. I don't know. You guys tell us what you think of this, what you're doing. Are you inspired? Maybe this is the best time to jump in because it's so shaky and, there's maybe opportunity with that crack we're seeing now. Let us know below. Comment. Give us your take on crypto. And, give us your take on guys who talk a lot about crypto, too. I want to know that.
Why are you trying to start shit? Look, dude, I mean, it's what I'm interested in. Okay.
No, I'm not
I'm
knocking
trying to
you.
make money, you know?
Look, this is a show that we talk about it all, man, especially talking about how these shifts in markets, especially crypto, affect the bottom dollar, affect the average person. This, to your point earlier, this all affects us. You know, this isn't some internet-y money thing now. This is the global economy, and this can change a lot of things, including how we survive every day, how we afford groceries.
Yeah.
And that's the layer that I have to admit. You know, you can pretend this is all BS, but you know, the way this is going and the way the institutions are going with this will shape our future, good or bad.
Yeah. I mean, and the AI bots are going to be trading in Bitcoin too and using it to, you know, trade you. So, I mean, I just think it's going to be a wild future here as long as it doesn't get completely dismantled because of some weird stuff that may be coming out in some interesting emails here. So we'll see. Hope for the best, right?
Well, listen, if you got out, we'll ask you what you saw, what happened there. And if you held, we'll ask you if you still believe and why. That's what I want to know. Let us know. But as of now, man, I guess this tower still stands, right?
For now, yeah. I mean, a lot of people will tell you it's actually nothing has changed. There's no structural damage, nothing. This is all part of the way that it goes, and they have a lot of strong arguments for it. So, but it also could be a nuclear bomb about to go off on the entire global economy.
Well, as we know from this today, the cracks are getting louder. So until next time, guys, keep questioning, keep watching, keep the chaos coming in. Damn it. I hope you can afford your life.
I hope so, too. I don't know. I think we're all screwed.
All right, that's it. I'm getting into crypto. I decided. I switched. See you guys.
Well, now, yeah, okay, bye. Yeah, now it's time. Get in when it's low.
This show is sponsored by Galileo FX, the only automated trading software that shows you the wins and losses before you buy. Learn more at store.galileofx.com.